მიუნხენის უსაფრთხოების კონფერენციაზე ინტერვიუ ჩავწერეთ დიმიტრი გუდკოვთან, რუსს ოპოზიციონერთან, რომელიც კრემლის მიერ რუსეთში ექსტრემისტად, ტერორისტად და უცხოეთის აგენტადაა მიჩნეული. გუდკოვს ძირითადად რუსეთში არსებულ მდგომარეობაზე ვესაუბრეთ. რამდენიმე წლის წინ დიმიტრი გუდკოვი საქართველოში ჩამოსვლას ლამობდა, თუმცა იგი არ შემოუშვეს და აეროპორტიდან უკან გააბრუნეს. შესაბამისად, მას საქართველოზეც ვესაუბრეთ და იმ შესაძლო მსგავსებებზე, რომელიც საქართველოსა და რუსეთის ხელისუფლების შორის შესაძლოა არსებობდეს.
Speak on behalf of all
Yes.
Russians. Of course, I can represent the view of anti-Putin Russia. Of course, those people who are mostly in exile, of course, they are pro-European, European-minded people. And I'm co-founder of the think tank Case, and we provided the serious polls in among the Russian diasporas in 4 European countries, and we can say that it's the European-minded people most. Unfortunately, due to the fact that we've been living under the Putin's propaganda, and of course, the propaganda tried to explain to Russian people that the European Union and the United States are enemies, and unfortunately, some people believed in that bullshit. But of course, if the situation changes sometimes, and it happens in Russia, and I think that the European way, the European has possibly for Russian future during the after the post-Putin transit of Russia, and now we do our best in order to help Russia to return to the democratic path, the democratic track. Our main goal was to convince European politicians to admit the fact that there are two Russia. Like one is the Putin's Russia, but there is another Russia that represented by people who are in exile or inside Russia, outside Russia, but who opposed the war, who opposed with this regime, and he want changes for our country. And fortunately, now we managed to establish the platform within the Parliamentary Assembly of the Council of Europe for the dialogue with the Russian democratic forces, and I think that it's very important step forward. And now we need to help those Russians fled through Russia, who decided just to oppose the Putin's regime and face a lot of problems in European countries related to legalization issues. I don't think that so we have equal situations because Russia is far away with authoritarian traits, dictatorship. Russia is now the fascist state, unfortunately. But I can say that there are some negative scenarios that's happening in Georgia. And you mentioned the foreign agent law. Yes, I'm a foreign agent. So I was stripped of my citizen rights. And I see that it's also happening with many citizens of Georgia. So it's a very negative scenario, and I need to warn my Georgia friends. That's like 20 years ago. So we had moreover fair elections 25 years ago. We had rights to take to the street to protest. We had freedom of speech, but today we have nothing. You can't say nothing. You can say nothing against Putin, against the war. And so many people found themselves in exile. So the events are developing and happen very fast. So yesterday you had democracy, but tomorrow you'll be living the authoritarian country, and it will be so difficult to change it, because if you lose the democracy, you will be forced sacrifice a lot for change. There is a lesson that if you wanted to establish the dictatorship in moreover democratic country, you need to move forward step by step. For example, now you have the legislation which is not the same that we have in Russia, but tomorrow, so it will be changed. I assure you. So if they take first step, they will take second step. If they don't feel the resistance of the society, so just they go further. Even in Russia, when they just voted for the first legislation, so it was only against the NGO who having some funds from abroad. Today, so it can influence everyone, even if you don't have any funds abroad. Moreover, if you're in exile, if you're a foreign agent, I think that after March we'll have a new legislation there that will put a ban for all foreign agents, for all people abroad, to use the consulate services. So you can't even get new passports. So you will find yourself without documents abroad, and if you don't have passport, don't have job, we can't apply visa. You can't apply bank, opening bank accounts. You can't apply residency. So you're just like homeless, stateless person, stateless, homeless, just rightless person. Unfortunately, I have to admit that many propaganda works. Because if you portray like the global picture, just one way, and you will have the same discussions in different parts of the society, and at least 0.5% of the population can be really by the propaganda. So you can do nothing with that. That's why it's a serious danger and the serious threat, because the situation at the public will not ideally change, because so the propaganda influence.